Hello, this is Caleb Barney with Russell Real Estate, and today I wanted to go over statistics for Strongsville, Ohio specifically, and their housing market. And I recently made a video where I went over the four main counties that I serve. So I primarily serve Cuyahoga County, Medina County, Lorain County, and Summit County here in Northeast Ohio. And I live in Strongsville, which is a suburb of Cleveland. And it kind of got me thinking, okay, I broke it down by county, but what does it look like in my city here? So I wanted to look at the year over year data for Strongsville, and we're basically looking from 2018 through 2022. So this is the complete, January through December data and the average sale price. So you could see here back in 2018, the average sale price was $225,000 and change. In 2022, that bumped up to $315,000 and change. So a $90,000 increase in 5 years. It's pretty good. What I wanted to look at, though, was actually just comparing year over year changes and to see, whether that truly has decelerated, accelerated, or, stayed stagnant, basically. So we could see that it has been accelerating, or has been increasing, I should say. But from 2018 to 2019, you see that $11,000 increase right there actually ends up being about 5.03% on a year over year change for the average price home. From 2019 to 2020, we saw a 12.93% increase. And so you can kind of see that, the whole idea of the housing market took off after COVID. It's actually, yes, it's true, but the housing market was getting hot before then. As you could see, it's evidenced here by the almost 13% increase from 2019 to 2020. 2020 hits, and as we go into 2021, that was the craziest year that we've seen as far as home values going up, people paying above appraised values, everything like that. And what we're looking at here, from $267,000 and change to almost $305,000, is actually a nearly 14% increase year over year. So it's 13.96 from 2020 to 2021. And then you see we went from two massive jumps where we're at 13 and 14% basically for the prior 2 years. And then going from 2021 to 2022, we actually see that slow down considerably. In fact, it actually increased only 3.49% from 2021 to 2022. So things really did start leveling off, as we could see there. So that's the year over year. But a lot of people and a lot of housing experts say that the national housing market, if there is such a thing, actually started to hit a recession starting in June of 2022. So I wanted to see how that correlated with our market. So same thing, I broke this down. You could see this broken down by months now. Obviously it's from Strongsville, and it's from January of 18 all the way through actually January of 2023. Since I am recording this on the first week of February of 2023. So you could see that, any housing market is going to have your ups and downs. A lot of that has to do with seasonality, and there are going to be seasonal adjustments. But as you can see here in 2022, when we're comparing it to 2021, there's actually 4 months that sold for less in 2022 for their average compared to 2021. Now, are those outliers, and how much less did they sell for? Those are things that I want to take into consideration. So for example, we saw January, strong price growth there, February, strong price growth there, and then in March of 2021, the average sale was actually at $333,000 and change, whereas in March of 2022, it was just shy of $300,000. So $33,000 difference there. What I'm wondering is, okay, were there not a ton of sales that month, and then maybe there were just a few big sales, say, six, seven, $800,000 or more, that kind of tipped that average for 2021 and bumped that up. Because if you could look at this, I mean, $333,000 compared to the 2 months before that and the 2 months after that, this seems more like an outlier than this in March of 2022 when you're looking at 285, 299, 300, 317, 341. So I'm more inclined to believe that the March one was actually kind of an outlier. The other months that we did see a decrease from 2022 compared to 2021 is August, which really there wasn't a huge decrease there, $324,000 to $323,000, and September, which was $312,000 to $310,000. So to me, that's not really too indicative of, hey, the housing market is actually decreasing. Absolutely, it was decelerating. It was also basically starting to level out and flatline, but I wouldn't say that was necessarily a sign of, okay, you need to watch out for what's to come. Because then we look at October, and same thing. This appears to be more of an outlier, a $350,000 month for October of 2022, similar to what March of 2021 was. But, we could see a huge increase here. And then same thing, November, you start to see a slight increase again. Before December, you're like, what happened here? So I noticed this, personally, and, I try not to take anecdotal, quote unquote evidence too seriously. But I noticed a slowdown basically once the interest rates peaked at the end of October. So interest rates peaked at about 7.37% nationally for the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage, and that was the last week in October. If you think about most real estate transactions, they close within 30 to 45 days. So not a lot of people were looking, or not as many people were looking at the end of October, and I'm wondering if that had to do with this huge decrease here in December of 2022, because a lot of buyers just walked away and they're just like, hey, I need to press pause right now because this is getting ridiculous. Since then, by the way, interest rates have come back down. As of today, it's the first week in February. They are at about 6.45%. They did hit just below 6% about 2 weeks ago, but you still see a lot of market volatility. So we are at about 6.45%, still nearly a point better than what they were in the end of October of 2022. And then lastly, the other trend that I wanted to see was the year-over-year data that we have so far for 2023. So that's why I included January of 2023 here. The average sale price in Strongsville this past month was $296,730, which is an increase of about $11,000 from last year, or about 3.9%. So similar to the trend overall of last year, which is 3.49% for the year-over-year growth of 2022 versus 2021, while so far in 2023 we're at 3.9%. So the only other thing that I wanted to look at, because the main things that affect house sales and house sale prices are going to be interest rate and then also your supply and demand. So interest rate will really affect your demand mostly, because that will determine how much a buyer can afford. And then supply is going to be your months of inventory. This is your active houses, basically. And usually for months of inventory, they say about 6 months is a balanced market. I think that that's actually a little too high for our market. I think a balanced market is probably closer to like 4 to 5 months. And you could see here that we have been trending up. In January of 2023, we're at 2.77%. So definitely more of an even market, whereas basically for the second half of 2020, all of 2021, and even the first half of 2022, a little more than that, it was a very, very strong sellers market where they could essentially dictate terms. So now that it's starting to balance out a little more, it's actually becoming a healthier market, and buyers don't have to risk everything, whether they're waiving inspections, appraisals, things of that nature, paying well above asking. We're not seeing that as frequently anymore. Of course, it depends on how the home is priced, what area it's in, if it's updated, things of that nature. But it's definitely becoming a much more balanced market. And, people that I've been talking with, agents, investors around the country that I've been talking with have actually said mostly the same thing, too. So, if you are interested in investing in Northeast Ohio, feel free to reach out to me. Or if you're interested in a particular city, reach out to me as well. I have no problem doing an analysis like this for you. And again, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest real estate or in real estate here in Northeast Ohio, reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you and have a great day.